Ju 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 ju. Ju 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 ju. Ju 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 ju. Just making some noises to make sure that we're live on all platforms, guys. And we're off. It is Wednesday, August 30th, 2023 AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. And we are live on Odyssey, on Rumble, I presume, or assume. The heck, I think. So that's cool. I think, what the heck? Just, oh yes, okay. And we're gonna have a fun Wednesday show. I think it can be fun. Can be fun, right? We'll talk about some sick news. There was some Call Me Nonsense Network and the far left female outlet, the Skim News, that I want to get to, that I did not read during Hake News of the Jesse Lee Peterson show today. Mama Adele. I told you about the migrants being human smuggled by a smuggler with ties to ISIS, per the FBI and intelligence officials, reported by CNN. But there's also globo homo commie capitalist corporations want to help, quote unquote, the invaders in New York City. Chase, Pfizer, Macy's, more than 100 other commie capitalist corporations called on Biden and Congress to send federal aid over the migrant crisis. Not to close the border, but to speed up the asylum process, pretending like they're refugees. They're not refugees. Don't censor me, YouTube. Maybe they are. There was a fight between a Republican and a demon rat over gun control, maybe. A physical fight, maybe, yesterday. And I don't have any clips of this, just some information. Was it an Asian who shot up the UNC, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and based Pope Francis? Talking about Russian heritage. Was it imperialist propaganda, as the Ukrainians allege? You know Ukraine is in a war right now with Russia. They're warring with Russia. Takes two to war, right? Even if they are on purportedly your land. Hake, fix your audio. What do you mean? Is my audio fine? Press 1 if it's fine. Rest in peace, headphones users, 2222222. Loud. If it's too loud, press 2. If it's fine, if it's a touch quiet, press 3. 1 if it's fine, 2 if it's too loud, 3 if it's a touch quiet. Pardon that strange interlude. Not an issue on my end. Not the issue that Nick's show had. Doesn't sound too loud to Nick, American Anchor Baby. Huh. Real Mr. Mad is bugging. Spazzing. Don't say spaz, kids. Especially not if you're in the UK. Shout out to the UK users who may feel violated by my use of that word. It's considered a terrible slur in the UK. Megyn Kelly's all up in arms over Scott Weiner and Rob Bonta. Is that his name? Or Scott Weiner? Because they want teachers to keep secrets with children from the parents and not out them as so-called transgender, which they're not, or as LGBTIQ mess. And it's a shame. And I don't know if I'll have time. Maybe I shouldn't even mention this. Real Mr. Mad says, guess it's just me, LOL, lots of laughs. Thanks a lot, Mr. Mad, throwing off my whole show. But anyway, guys, all that and your calls if you'd like to call in. But let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, How you guys doing? I am fine. And I am... Did Hassan sing this? No, it was a mixture probably of AJ Gallardo and maybe Trevor Wesley. Shout out to Trevor Wesley and AJ Gallardo. I am wearing my Bond t-shirt. It is a black t-shirt, but it is a nice faded black, and it is very comfortable. And I think it's 100% cotton, right, Hassan? Yeah, it's 100% cotton, and yet it's like maybe ring spun cotton or combed, I don't know. But it's one of those that's really nice and comfortable. And it has a cool collar. It's not one of those bigger Gildan collars, but shout out to Gildan. They make good, hefty quality t-shirts in 100% cotton. No, this one is like a nice thin collar, but not too wide. It's not like showing all my shoulders or whatever. And it's a nice fit. It feels great. This is made custom for the Bond 11th Annual Men's Conference, August 14th, 2021 AD, Orlando, Florida, by Hassan, who performed at the men's conference. And it says Bond. And I'm not sure what it says on the back, but it may say something to the effect of rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, men's conference. And it has the little logo of the family. I noticed that I no longer have to stand up to show it. So that's cool, huh? Sweet. Sweet. 100 African kids picked that cotton. Yeah, who knew that cotton came in black? I guess it's dyed or something like that, right? Wouldn't it be? Evil is still real. Somebody inform me. Rest in peace to the annual men's conference, COVID wimps, says John Frederick. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't done it since this Orlando, Florida thing. But we do the, I shall refrain from saying do. We do the, because it's redundant and it sounds like poop. Don't say that, kids. We do the monthly men's forums. It's not a big old event that some people do fly in for them or drive in from around the country and around the world. And the women's forums too. Wow, nice. Monthly. First Thursday of the month, third Thursday of the month. I can't wait, by the way, for speaking of Hassan, Wow Hassan on Wednesdays. That's today, right after Hake. On Tuesday, right after Hake, it's Joel Friday TV. On Wednesday, it's Wow Hassan. Walking on Water Hassan is the on YouTube. All one word. I can't wait for his merch to come out. Ooh. I don't know if he's going to use Teespring, because Teespring would be, which is nice. It's nice. Teespring's nice. But it's not this. I don't know. Maybe Teespring has this. But Hassan, you have any plans here for merch on your Wow Hassan merch?
Oh, yeah. Next week we'll have these. The cartoon Sandy.
The cartoon Walking on Water Hassan with Sandy.
Yeah, we'll have these available next week.
Cool.
And yeah, pretty similar quality to that. So
sweet.
Lord willing.
Nice.
Thank you, man.
GMD Jim says, yes, Hake, it is dyed. Cotton does not grow in different colors. SMH, shaking his head. Nice.
Made in America, too, by the way.
Sweet. Yeah. Not slave labor, necessarily. Not that slavery is necessarily all that wrong. I don't know if Hassan agrees with me there, but I do not completely disavow slavery on all levels at all times. Because, treat your slaves well, obey your masters, and if you can get your freedom, do so. We don't have to be all emotional about it, You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yes, I do, tennis shoe. Let's get to this. Adele, Mama Adele. I saw this headline from Commie Nonsense Network. Sick news. The far-left communist nonsense network, CNN, shares this headline. Adele's mid-concert intervention leaves fans shaking. And that looks like a grown man shaking. I've not looked into this, but I just noted that Adele, who used to be portly, that's a nice grandma word. I got that from my grandma, rest in peace, for fat, okay? She used to be kind of fat, and now she's slim. And not that I liked it, her being fat, but I don't even recognize her. I don't. She looks like every other, like, sandy blonde-haired woman or whatever. I don't want to call it dirty blonde. People call it dirty blonde, and they don't like that. Sandy blonde hair. I learned sandy blonde hair from, like, Dragnet or somewhere. Her mid-concert intervention, Adele stopped her concert in Las Vegas. Oh, has she been relegated to Las Vegas? She's at one of those has-beens? No, I don't know. To scold security. Security's looking out for her, and she's scolding them for bothering an excited fan. And you can watch the video on Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, Entertainment, but I just feel like she's playing mama, kind of like how the government plays mama on the cops who get, in some cases, overzealous, but in other cases, they're just doing their job against the riffraff, let's call them, the people, violating their rights or whatever. Who cares? Who cares? They brought it on themselves in many ways. We already know that you don't have your rights in America anymore, and yet you still try to have your rights. 2. She is a mama, says L. Trills. She looks like she is a mother. Out of wedlock mother, by the way. Not to pile on to her. Doesn't she look so generic now? She looks generic. But anyway. I don't listen to that kind of music anymore, says Jacob Crinnan. Me neither. I never did. I used to think that she was... Who's that woman who died who didn't want to go to rehab? No. She had a similar quality voice to that gal. She's a talented gal, whom I didn't like her either back in the day, but now that she's dead, Amy Winehouse, yeah. Her music is actually kind of cool, but she was a mess, and she overdosed and died. Love Adele. JLP loves her music. You hear him singing her songs. Oh, you used to anyway on the show. That gal knows she can sing, he used to say. But look, why do all these female singers have not morally straight male fans? Fangirly, girly boys, males. Doesn't that look like a male? Zoom in on that face and then turn it off after 5 seconds. Cover your eyes, kids, and faint of heart and ladies and judgmental people like Hake. Because we're about to zoom in on that face. Doesn't that look like a dude? I have not looked into this. Again, just a side note. But they are all in. He's like holding his chest or his chest / collarbone / breathing tube. What's that thing that your trachea windpipe or whatever? Okay, turn that off. Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong with the conspiracy theory. They have not morally straight fans because they're not actually the gender that they pass as. That's not true. You could play the video. Well, it's right there. Says spoiler alert. No, that's a screenshot. It's not a video. That's funny. So that's Mama Adele. Again, I have no idea that bothering an excited fan. Don't do that, security. Well, Jesus was like that. He rebuked the people who were holding back the children. He said, he rebuked them, saying, "Let the children come to me, and do not hinder them." So that's what Adele says. Let the not morally straight-seeming, overexcited fanatics, that's what fans stands for, be excited, and do not hinder them. She thinks she's like female Jesus. now that she's all skinny. Bro, this is a new low. Hake, wake up. All right, let's get to some real news. Nugget man. The quote-unquote migrants, do not use get, got, or a lot in formal writing. They have top business leaders' attention. And you should avoid has, have, and had. The far-left females at the Skim report asylum seekers in New York City. This week, execs from J.P. Morgan Chase, Pfizer, Macy's, and more than 100 other so-called companies. This is considered the crowd, okay? The crowd, the world, the wide road that leads to destruction for the country. They called on so-called President Sleepy Joe Biden and Congress, more like Congress, to give a hat tip to the UK British accents. I can't do it. Congress to send federal aid over the migrant crisis. And they call it a migrant crisis. It's an illegal alien invasion. It's a national emergency, as Trump called it. Some people might not characterize it as an invasion because they want to benefit from this country. They want to help the country. Yeah, right. Since 2022, more than 100,000 so-called migrants have arrived in NYC, New York City, all the way down from the southern border. Some of them bussed by the Republican rhinos, such as the rhino governor of Texas and the less rhino governor. I consider him less rhino than the Texas governor. Ron DeSanctimonious, sending them up to NYC and DC and elsewhere maybe. Leading to migrants, meaning illegals. They're illegals. Aren't they illegals? Correct me if I'm wrong. Sleeping on the streets of Midtown Manhattan. Now, execs with offices based in New York say they want to speed up the process of asylum, meaning fast track for the line cutters, the people who cut in line, versus the legal immigrants who wait for years before they come in the proper way, which we don't even want them so much, right? But we want these people even less, right? Because they don't respect our laws. They're being used by people who game the system and use loopholes in the laws and the law system is in cahoots with them to be corrupt and corrupt the country with a population that doesn't even have real actual love for America and our laws and order and white people and Christianity and freedom of speech and the Second Amendment and all that stuff. They're just Democrat voters and degenerates and chaos people and mama spirit people. Help them apply for jobs. Help them apply for jobs. By the way, the numbers of available jobs are decreasing again. You know how we had a surplus in job openings? We had a labor shortage, supposedly, or something like that? Well, now that's coming back down, I heard, if you believe the mainstream media, which I do, of course. The Department of so-called Homeland Security, established by W. Bush, not probably for good reasons, get rid of it, because it doesn't do anything to help us. That's an exaggeration, maybe. Said it, but mostly it hurts us. Said it recognized structural and operational issues in the city's handling of the crisis. How about let's close the borders and not let them come in and all that mess? All that mess. Shameful. Ridiculous. So, that's that. New news item. There was a fight between a Republican and a demon rat. I don't know. I'm profiling it, right? An altercation broke out in Tennessee. Well, this is a state representative. It's not at the national level. The far-left females at the Skim report, yesterday, the state's House Speaker, Cameron Sexton, a Republican. Well, I don't know if he's a Republican, okay? And Representative Justin Pearson. Oh, I've heard that name before. He's that guy with the big old afro. He used to be clean cut and be all phony, nicey, nice politician. Jeff, call me another day. You're asking a stupid question. Jeff in Louisiana, FYI. Side note. Call me another day. Get a hold of yourself. Bye. They both excused each other of shoving each other after lawmakers. They got physical, right? The Republican-led House adjourned. Both accused each other of shoving after lawmakers didn't make significant changes on gun control. Republicans focused on so-called mental health and juvenile crime, mostly blacks, by the way, or way disproportionate blacks. Disproportionately blacks. Have you seen the juvenile justice statistics numbers? Bureau, I don't know, Office of Juvenile something or other stuff. I've looked into it back when I was into research of the crime numbers, crime stats, because I wanted to see for myself. I didn't want to just believe Jared Taylor of American Renaissance, his Color of Crime publication. I wanted to look into it for myself, and I saw that indeed, yes, the numbers jibe, is it jibe or jive, with people's understanding and impression of reality as they see it on the streets with the disproportionate black crime. Yes, indeed, the numbers show way out of proportion black juvenile arrests for forcible rape, as it was once properly called. Not this unwanted kissing, so-called sexual assault. Robbery, assault, different types of assault, meaning aggravated assault or simple assault, even homicide, murder, alleged murder, all that stuff. So when they're saying juvenile crime, it can maybe be a euphemism for teens, joggers, graduates, scholars. But demon rats say after March's elementary school shooting, which was done by, this is Tennessee, right? Wasn't that Christian school in Tennessee where the transgender allegedly shot up the Christian elementary school, supposedly Christian elementary school, or Catholic, which is still Christian, right? Yeah. Shout out to Skunky X, I think is the one who jumps on me anytime I mock the Catholics, our forefathers in the church. New gun laws are needed, says the demon rats. It's stupid. These mama government always wants to meddle and make stuff worse. They make stuff worse. Now the state house is adjourned. Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally, a Republican, expects more work to be done in January. But even the Republicans are, they bark up the wrong tree. They say mental health. And what did they say? Juvenile crime. How about parents, fathers? In many cases, the fathers are not around, or the fathers are cut out of the child's life. Look at the case of that guy in Newtown, Connecticut. Connecticut. Right? That's Connecticut, right? You know, that one in 2012, I want to say December of 2012, I feel like it was, if I remember correctly, where that the young boy with the crazy eyes, he shot up the school where he went to, where I think he shot his mother first. His father hadn't seen him for 2 years. His father later said that he wished that his boy had never been born. But his father and mother were divorced. The mother was in a liberal town called Newtown, Connecticut. I assume it's a liberal town, because why else would the parents of the children be trying to sue the life out of my competitor, Alex Jones, for speculating about their genuineness, and other people harass them, and so he blames they want to blame Alex Jones for something that other people are doing. How about we blame the mainstream media? We can't really blame the mainstream media for stuff that evil rioters are doing, but they do promote rioting and anger and all that mess. But the mainstream media is never held accountable for smearing the whites and smearing the cops and stoking up race riots, because they're responsible for being evil, but they're expected to be evil, and it's legal to be evil. And these people are responsible for their own actions. But what about parents, Christianity, manliness, lack of emotions, rebuking anger? Anger causes mass murder, according to even liberal reporters or psychologists and psychiatrists. But they want to be angry and take away the guns, or be angry and fight with the people who want to take away the guns. It's not a solution. So, interesting. Maybe something to look into. Cameron Sexton versus Justin Pearson. Justin Pearson. Just this grandstanding black who got... It was him and some other black, Hispanic, Indian, American Indian looking guy, or maybe Mexican Indian looking guy with a Hispanic last name. He was like a black Hispanic. And that older, fattish, portly, let's call her, purportedly white woman, not a normal white woman, who's a politician in Tennessee. Like, the two supposedly POC ones got kicked out of the house, and then they got let back in, or one of them did. Justin Pearson, and he used to be all, hi. One of those blacks who's like, hi, I'm a nice politician. We need to come together. And now he's like a black radical and phony black preacher guy, all young, wearing an afro, ridiculous looking person, and ridiculous on the inside too. So, next topic, Asian. Is it Asian? Was it an Asian? They don't really say right off. The far-left females at the Skim report that a prosecution is on its way at University of North Carolina, speaking of these mass shootings, Chapel Hill. Yesterday, authorities charged a grad student with first-degree murder over this week's shooting. And it was not a mass shooting. It was a targeted shooting of apparently, I gather, of a faculty member. Oh, no. I'm seeing a picture of this guy. The two knew each other. His last name is Chi. Q-I. Is that how you pronounce Q-I? Chi? Taile Chi. Grad student. Charged with first-degree murder and having a gun on an education property. What? That's a crime? In court on Tuesday. Did not enter a plea and was ordered held without bond. Oh, I didn't know you could not enter a plea. The victim was identified as Zijie Yan. So Asian on Asian violence. Hey, that's the third high-profile case of Asian on Asian violence in recent memory. They're turning black-hearted. I gotta show you this picture of this guy. My goodness. Hold on. Let me put his name in there. UNC shooter. Bum, bum, bum. Putting it in the folder now. Taile Chi. Is this like skinny? Oh, that's not the same person. They're both wearing, I don't think it's the same person. Oh, okay, it's not the same person. They look similar age, somewhat similar build. Hassan, it's in the folder now. Taile Chi, UNC shooter. Professor ZJ Yan. What are these people doing in my country? Look at them. Okay, so the one on the left, I assume, is the shooter, is the alleged murderer. And on the one on the right, who looks like one of my classmates. It looks like, I don't want to dox him. I know it's not him. I mean, this guy's dead anyways, but it's not the guy whom I'm thinking. The guy whom I'm thinking probably looks older already by now anyway. He was in my class. And no, they don't all look the same. I rebuke you. But I literally thought that there was the same person. But no, that's a mugshot of the guy or picture of him against the wall. And the guy, professor guy, with interesting lighting in a lab-looking thing. Lab coat and blue and reddish, orange, yellowish light. Smiling. Oh, skinny. And the other guy's hair is a little bit more messed up. Man. So he entered the courtroom in an orange jail outfit, hands cuffed in front of him. Used an interpreter, so he doesn't understand English. Killed the guy, allegedly, with a 9mm handgun. Killed him, right? I believe he did. They locked down the school. It's a school of 30,000 people. That sounds big. They knew each other. Grad student in the same department. Yan was his faculty advisor. Terrible. And you know what? For some weird reason, kind of weird to me, they delete the page, but then you can find it on the archive or Wayback Machine and stuff like that on the internet. 30,000 students, more than them, in lockdown for hours on the second week of classes. Oh, I guess they started back in mid-August. That's how it used to be for college when I went to that particular, one university. Give him a fro and that be me, Hake. We all look alike, except I also look like every black guy, too, says Lin Yen Chin. Terrible. Whew. What a mess. So, rest in peace, Professor, whatever your name was, Professor Yan. And wish you well, alleged murderer, Tai Chi. There was a University of Virginia alleged mass murderer. Maybe he was convicted. More than 10, maybe 15 years ago, shot up University of Virginia. Remember that? But that was not just Asians that they shot. There was a couple of so-called mass shootings here in east of East LA, in the suburbs here, or at least one in Monterey Park, right? And I read to you about that, and now they're all promoting gun control, and mental health, talking about mental health as men, grown men. And then I guess in NorCal with the Asian shot up, maybe not fellow Asians, I'm not sure. Is it growing or is it just a coincidence? Yeah, Virginia Tech. You're not University of Virginia. Virginia Tech. Thank you, spoiler alert. I don't know history. Let's get to a call or two, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. William is in California. Thank you, William, for calling in and holding. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Number 5, what's going on with you?
005, checking in, doing fine. Appreciate it.
And number 3 is doing good. I tell you, James, there's something going around lately here in California and other states. They say that the parents are running like a track meet to Christian and Catholic schools. In other words, private for their children.
Oh.
They're running. They can't stand it.
Because to get away from the evil public schools, so they're going to the evil, not that much different so-called private schools, thinking that they're much better.
That really depends, James, on which one you go to.
Yeah, true. That's true.
That just depends on which private school you go to.
And from teacher to teacher, honestly, because my parents took me out of school in some cases.
You say you homeschooled, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of different odd years, 3rd and 6th grade. And part of it was because they didn't like or trust necessarily the teachers. Shout out to those teachers who...
Well, what are you, 30, 39, 38, 37? What are you?
42.
Yeah, that would be about right, though.
Yeah.
That when you were in school, that I think they actually started indoctrinating the schools around I would have to say the early 80s, and it really kicked in the early 90s really hard.
Yeah, it got it got bad, and there's always been some teachers who are just not as good as others. Kind of got the wrong attitude, or they just got a wrong liberal mindset, or whatever.
It might be maybe teaching is like a humanitarian thing.
Yeah,
and it's like you probably are teaching for the wrong reasons. You have that job for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
that could be what it is. But they're running to the private schools. I wanted to throw that out there. The protests that I'm seeing all over the roads and blocking the roads and getting in fights in front of Mayor Adams' house out there in New York and everything. These protesters, two groups. These protesters, these Earth people, this global warming thing that's fake. They're jumping in front of cars and stopping traffic. I think what's going to end up happening, them and the smash and grab group, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up getting a lot of time, James. You remember 3 strikes, don't you?
The 3 strikes law. I know. I heard a little bit about it, and actually,
it cleaned things up. I'll tell you that.
That's what our local engineer, our bond engineer guy says, that the 3 strikes laws helped with the crime.
Cleaned it up.
You know what's funny is I don't know that to be true because I read mainstream historical and mainstream media accounts, right? Which is the same thing, right? And they say they're very vague on what brought it down because sometimes, you know how crack kind of came into vogue and then it went a little bit out of vogue?
Yeah.
And they seem to think that, it just happened naturally. They don't want to give credit to the 3 strikes laws.
No, they don't. They kind of kept it quiet.
Interesting. It's kind of like...
They kept it really quiet.
It's kind of
like...
They
really want you to know.
Yeah, kind of like criminologists today who are a bunch of liberals, right?
They kind of just didn't want you to know that it was working because what it definitely did is it took the criminal off the streets for a substantial amount of time.
Right.
To where he's going to sit in that 8x10 and think about what he did.
Yeah.
And by the time he's eligible to come out, he's not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So you remember the 3 strikes. I think all these groups that are doing all these things, I think, just like woke is over, that's why they're panicking. They just don't want Trump to run because they know he's going to win. I think that's over, and I think a lot of these demonstrators and activists are going to get locked up, James. It happened in the 60s. It happened in the 80s. I think they're going to get locked up for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same phenomenon is happening as was happening in the 80s, early 90s, where black so-called leaders, the liberals, are clamoring for tough on crime policies and policing and stuff. Am I right? I think I'm right about that.
Yeah. You are.
But the mama culture is still not solved. It's worse. I still say, people say it's a pendulum that swings back and forth. I say it's more like a wave form, and it's going ever worse towards communism and mama spirit stuff. Even though it will get better, I still say we're headed for hell.
We're in hell now.
Yeah.
And the guy you were talking about, the Chinese guy, guess what university he graduated from?
Oh, this grad student who did the mass shooting?
Yeah, check that out.
Oh, really? Can you tell us offhand?
The same name as the lab is the COVID experiment.
Wuhan?
Name that school.
Oh,
yeah, you just did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, Chow usually doesn't mess with other people.
Meaning the Asians?
Think about it.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Right. They get messed with.
The Dragon Massacre. We had the Golden Dragon Massacre in San Francisco in 1979. They shot up that whole restaurant. But it wasn't nobody black. It wasn't nobody white.
Yeah.
They get at each other. Yeah, he's from what do you call it? Wuhan? How you say it?
Wuhan.
Yeah, that's where he's from.
Whoa, so he really was Chinese. I thought that you were just,
Chinese national.
Chinese name. Wow. 34 years old, by the way, according to
what is he doing here?
Daily Mail. I mean, we're such suckers. By we, I mean the American establishment. It's such suckers. They bring them over here, and then the Chinese take advantage of us, and everybody takes advantage. The Indians, terrible.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to get at you yesterday. I've been on your case about that one. That you and your mildly attractive thing.
Yeah. I meant to get to you.
You always messing with us with that. Brothers don't mess with that stuff.
That is so funny.
I mean, listen to the ladies that called yesterday. They were so cute, and they did have something to say. They was worth something.
Yeah.
And they were ladies.
Uh-huh.
But you and your mildly attractive and your favorites, I'm going to tell you something, bro. We can make some arrangements if you like it that much.
Who did I call yesterday?
Sha'Carri Richardson, you said was mildly. I'm like, dude, she looks like a rooster.
It's Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri.
I don't care. It's Shakita, whatever. Pull up her picture.
Can you pull up yesterday's picture of
looks like a rooster.
Sha'Carri? I mean, yeah, she does. Her hair's wild. And she's 23. She's has these long nails.
Dude, come on. Don't
Too
put
much
that
makeup.
on us brothers, man. We don't be talking to them. We don't be talking to them.
Did you hear
pointing out these?
Did you hear the USA Today article just fawning all over her? That was so amusing.
Yeah, but she's getting smoked.
Rooster.
She's going to get smoked by Sheila. What's that? Shelly Ann Fraser is going to smoke her anyway.
Okay.
She's not as fast as her, and she's the one that got busted with the weed up in Oregon. You remember that, right?
But that was because she was mourning her birth mother.
Oh, shut up. She needs to shut that up. And she smokes weed, okay? That's what it's called.
She
stopped.
Weed. She only did it in mourning. She only took it in mourning.
Yeah. Well, brothers don't be hollering at that kind of stuff, man. Come on. She's married anyway. I think she's married to another woman.
She said that she had a girlfriend. I don't know if she's quote-unquote married. But
disgusting. Come on, man. You be pointing out these broads, man. Look, you're mildly attractive.
But you said that black women are the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen.
They are beautiful. The ones that are beautiful, yes. We got some bad ones.
She's beautiful deep down.
We got some nice-looking women, bro. We got some nice-looking women, man.
If you get rid of that... she has black hair
the
again.
The mildly ones you be pointing out, no, they're not ranked. They're not ranked. Come on, look at them. Frederica Wilson. Oh, God.
Oh, she's the one with the hat,
Maxine
right?
Waters. Yeah, Maxine Waters.
In their younger days,
Look at that other thing. Lori Lightfoot. Lordy. And then you got...
She's kind of adorable.
London Breed, and you got...
London Breed's okay. Come on.
It's a fat body. And you got Fonnie. She's another fat body.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man. If they're not already married...
Don't follow his example, kids.
Whatever. Sha'Carri Richardson. I had to call you out on that, dude. That ain't mildly attractive, dude. That's strongly ugly.
Fair enough.
But hey,
everybody
happy
has their
Men's
taste.
Month. And shout out to the ladies yesterday. They all was calling in yesterday, and they had a lot of substance and everything. And shout out to them. But I want to say this here. Happy Men's Month. Getting off, let the next caller come. And my man of the day is going to be, because you know what? This mugshot thing makes you really famous. Trump's stuff is selling like hotcakes.
Nice.
And he's more famous for the mugshot now. And I'm going to go with another guy that has a mugshot. The man of the day is Elvis Presley. How about that?
Right on. I appreciate Elvis Presley. He has a great voice.
I do too.
He took some black songs and made them better, and he took other people's songs and sang them maybe better, and sometimes not better. But he used to be a trucker, right? Didn't he used to be a good boy and a trucker? But he was just out of control, like all of us are, and he
was cool.
Was a mess.
That's what it was. That was called cool back in the 50s. But he was a good man. He was very loyal to his mother and father. Elvis was a good guy and very talented.
Yeah,
very talented. And half his background singers is Whitney Houston's family.
Oh, really? Oh, so
all his background singers, that's Whitney's family.
He helped the blacks?
Houston and
nice.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Say what again?
He helped the blacks. People say, "Oh, he stole from the blacks." He helps. He also
No,
helped them out.
he had a lot of black friends. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's Elvis you talking about. Elvis grew up with black people
Nice.
in Mississippi. So, I mean, Elvis doesn't come from a rich background.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah. He was
poor,
a trucker.
You know?
And he used to sing
Well,
on the CB, I heard. Shout out to the truckers. There are many truckers who listen to Hake and call in sometimes.
Oh, no, Elvis was a hell of an entertainer.
Yeah, yeah. Although, what do you
he
think
really
about the
was.
degeneracy? Was he helpful in bringing in the overly sexual stuff?
Well, I mean, he was Elvis the pelvis. I mean, he shook his body
Yeah.
to the point where, okay, back in the 50s, they thought that was like, we weren't going to shoot him. The Ed Sullivan show, they only shot him from the head down to the waist
Right.
because of his dancing. I mean, if they did that to him back then, what would you think they would think about that thing that we had at the Super Bowl? What was that? Dancing with about 100 people that dressed like her.
I don't remember. I don't keep up with that
No,
stuff.
no. The girl. She's very popular.
Beyonce or?
No, not Beyonce. Oh, God, it's at the tip of my lips. She's from the Caribbean too.
Oh.
Oh, come on, James.
Not
She's young,
Riri.
too.
Not Riri.
No. Nicki Minaj.
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
Yuck. Yeah, but hey, we got some nice looking women in the black community, bro.
Yeah, I
If you really
know.
want.
Right.
They got some cuties. Ask Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan knows. He knows.
Yeah. He likes them. He loves them.
Right.
He likes black girls.
Are you saying that
It's
Hassan, are you saying that Rihanna is the best rapper ever?
No, Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is the best rapper
I don't
ever,
think
huh?
so. I don't think so.
Female
Let's
rapper.
Take that clock
Or
back to
rapper
Queen
all time.
Latifah. Queen Latifah.
Best
female.
rapper? She's a
hands
rapper?
down, hands down. They can handle her with the lyrics. The lyrics, the contents, they cannot handle her bars. She will throw about 20 or 30 syllables in 9 bars like it's nothing. You better check out Queen Latifah. Her material was stellar.
Nicki smoking Queen Latifah.
Nicki ain't smoking nothing.
Do you say Queen Latifah is the best rapper of including the versus all the males?
In my opinion, yeah. They got some of those girls in the early 90s.
Better than Tupac?
Afro Puffs. You got Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo. There's a bunch of female rappers that came before her that in my opinion, she gets smoked.
All right.
That's just my opinion. I mean, if he likes Nicki, that's him.
He didn't say he likes her.
I've heard them both.
He didn't say he likes her. He said that she's the best ever. He didn't say that he likes her. He may not even like her.
He thinks she's the best ever. I think that's giving her a little bit too much.
My
She makes more money
my former co-host said that Eminem is the best rapper
right now.
of all time.
No. I don't know where y'all getting that
Hassan
from.
says true. Hassan's just Mr. Positive here.
He's good. Eminem is bad, boy. He's good.
Yeah,
He's good.
he just never grew out
You
of
have
his
some others.
angst.
You got some others that you got to take a look at. Nas and Biggie and there's a couple of people, Redman and Method Man, and they're pretty good, man, when they drop their bars.
Well,
But
I don't want to
if you
feed
guys
too
like-
much into this.
Don't feed too much into it.
But
Let
thank
the
you,
next
man.
callers get the call.
I appreciate it,
Elvis
William.
Presley. Elvis Presley.
Right on. Happy Men's History
All
Month.
right, bro.
All right.
All right.
Take care. William from California. Hey, please stop, William. I just had lunch. That's not William. That's not the reason that I that I said that. That's funny that you guys are saying female rappers is the best rappers. This is the first I've ever heard this. Peace and quiet. Nice. You can call in, though. 1-888-775-3773. Hassan's show, Wow Hassan, you can get at Hassan by calling into this same number, 1-888-775-3773. Sean says the best rapper of all time is white and the best golfer of all time is black. Except black and Asian, because he doesn't consider himself all that black, Tiger Woods. Nice, Sean. Yeah. That's why I found it amusing that my former co-host called Eminem the best rapper of all time. Yeah, so Walking on Water Hassan, Wow Hassan on YouTube. Let me type that in. I don't know if I made this reply command on. Yes, indeed I did. Walking on Water with Hassan. Interesting interview today coming up?
That's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see. Mama.
And you have a buy me a coffee. You got to get to those super chats from last week.
Definitely. Buymeacoffee.com/WowHassan.
Nice.
Come on, they're trying to freeze me out. You got to support if you want the information.
Right on, man. Okay, let's get to one more news item at least before we get to the break and the beautiful Men's History Month music. It's not going to be Stavesacre at the top of this hour. It's going to be something else left out. Base Pope Francis. This is from Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. He's in trouble. Not real. I mean, he's putting out a statement. The Vatican is. Vatican or Vaticant? Vatican. The Pope intended to encourage young people to preserve and promote all that is positive in the great cultural and Russian spirituality, said the Vatican, after Ukrainian officials, they are Nazi commies. It's not necessarily an oxymoron. Or I support oxymorons anyway. The Nazi commie Ukrainian officials criticized Pope Francis's recent speech to Russian youth as imperialist propaganda. Imperialist propaganda. You know Pope Francis, he's kind of a liberal. He's ticked. He's Argentine or something. A white Hispanic or something like that. Or I don't know what Argentinians speak. Is it Spanish? Is it Portuguese? Or what? Somewhere down in South America. Shout out to the South Americans. There's some beautiful South Americans. In his address, the pontiff, whatever that means, I guess that's just another word for the Pope, encouraged Russian youth to view themselves as descendants of the Russian Empire. Wow. And to, quote, listen to this, never give up on this heritage, unquote. Wow. Heritage for thee and not for me. If you're a white American or Americant, you're not supposed to give up. You're supposed to give up on your heritage. White European stock like me is going to be an absolute minority after an unrelenting stream of immigration feeds into America and all the white countries, says Joe Biden. That's not a bad thing. It's a source of our strength. Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesmale Ole, I think it's a male. They call it spokesperson because they're politically correct. Ole Nikolenko, lambasted, or lambasted if you're American anchor, baby. Right after Wow Hassan today. Lambasted, or lambasted, the Pope's address as promoting Russian great power ideas that are, in fact, the reason for Russia's chronic aggression. So they're blasting ideas, sound like liberals, ideas which may have validity, sound like liberals to me. Because liberals blast ideas and true statements. And all ideas, I mean, JLP says get rid of all ideas, which is fair. But, I'm on his network. But sometimes when you say a statement, it's like a true statement. It's just the truth. And I don't know if Pope Francis, most of the time he's a globalist socialist. And maybe that's what Russia is too, a globalist socialist. They just disagree with the globalist socialists on globo homo side of NATO, right? Evil versus evil. So I'm not necessarily taking the side of the pro-Russia imperialism and empire of Russia and never give up on this heritage. But I'm saying that sometimes there's some value from the ancestors, the people of old, the historical figures, such as General Lee in America, maybe George Washington, maybe even Abe Lincoln. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of anything these days. But, and like things like English only that was referenced by JLP in the first hour of his show today. English only. We speak English in America. Some lost ideals of boomers and better. When I say boomers and better, I mean older than boomers. In some ways, they were better than boomers. In other ways, they're all the same, right? Fallen state people who led the generations to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But those things are antiquated, considered antiquated now. And those are, you're saying the same things as white supremacists. That's that type of thing that that these oversensitive, and I get that their country's under attack, right? But they're fighting and they're only prolonging the attacks. And the, death and destruction. Trump says that he could end this war. I don't know why my iPad went quiet, went blank. I'm watching my Twitter feed on my iPad with 0 people watching. I'm on multiple platforms. I just found that amusing, interesting. The Pope is having to defend himself like the Pope is remotely pro-imperialist or pro-war or pro-whatever, Russian aggression. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Where's Kevin Howe when you need him? Let's get to some music, guys. This is Left Out. Another song about Sarah. I know it's Men's History Month. Maybe this is why men are history. Because this is a Christian song. This is a Christian song. And, or it's a Christian band, so-called, which is, they're all liberals. Singing about being emotional about a woman named Sarah, and I don't know if it's their mother or their sister or their female friend or wife or girlfriend or whatever, but this is Left Out from 1999 album For the Working Class. Not sure I like that term, working class, class warfare, socialist ideas. I get rid of middle class, working class. There's only high class and low class, I guess. Hope you enjoy it, though. I know I enjoy it. It's a drama song. I like the emotionalness of it. Emotionality? Emotions of it? Whatever. Hope you enjoy it, you musical Philistines. You can cover your ears, press mute, sing la la la, grin and bear it, go outside, enjoy the super blue moon tonight. If you're listening to this podcast tonight, take shelter from the storm and the ash. If you are in Hawaii or Florida from Hurricane Idalia, watch out. Keep a good attitude. Keep your wits about you. Don't be a hero. Be wise. I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight. Drama, huh? Emotion is enough, says Lin Yen Chin. Or emotion of it. I am so powerless. Ah! Hey, this is a bit too aggressive. You sure your parents let you listen to this?
Yeah, of course. I'd rather die than watch you suffer.
Dang, hey, this is my kind of music. Listen to this part. What?
Lonely is my life.
Oh.
Lonely is my life. Lonely is my mind. Lonely is my mind. Can't take anymore.
Christian Henry Rollins.
Live forever. Let them live forever. Let us be together. Let us be together. God, take care of us. God, take care of us.
Wow, this got really dark.
God, take care of us.
Put up your phones.
God, take care of us.
Smashing Pumpkins vibe.
I love you. I love you.
Wow. Wasn't that nice? This was Hake's MySpace song. No, I don't think I was on MySpace when at the point that they had songs. Thank you guys for bearing with me through the, in my opinion, kind of cool music. I liked it. I wonder if Sarah appreciated this song. Asks, spoiler alert. Yeah, fair question. Fair question. Ah! Is this an Oliver Anthony cover band? Very nice white people music. It's catchy. Just pure noise pollution, somebody said. Emotion, it's just emotion of it. The of it already modifies the key word to mean what women call emotionality, Hake. I thought of you, Lin Yen Chin, when I was struggling and stumbling and stuttering over that word. Well, thank you guys again. Let me just double check for super chats on buymeacoffee.com and Ko-fi and Streamlabs and on Rumble. Some Rumble rants came in. Rumble.com/The Hake Report. Being enlightened till I rise says, "Morning, Hake!" Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. When are we getting mildly attractive mugs / t-shirts? Let me know because I've got to give one to my wife. Laughing face emoji sideways with tears coming out. Nice. You're the second person that whom I've seen requesting that. Real Mr. Mad has been asking that for days, and he probably knows the number of days. I am remiss. There's another word for it, but I can't think of it. Truant is not the word. Being enlightened till I rise says Hassan can keep Nicki and her W bleep bleep W bleep bleep. Or is it pronounced whoop bleep? I don't know. I'm not even sure. I've only ever heard about that song. But I don't think that he means that song is the greatest. But anyway, loved Queen Latifa, kinda. But it's all about that Missy Elliot, says Being Enlightened Till I Rise. What do you and Hassan think about Missy Elliot? It was okay. I mean, I didn't listen to her much. But I respected her. If you're supposed to respect women. No, I don't respect her. I cherished her. From afar. I didn't really listen to her. I may have one album, but I didn't I never really listened to it much. Evil is still real, says with a Rumble rant, James Hake. When you call crap, sorry kids, not sorry, but forgive me, like this quote-unquote Christian music, are you not afraid that kids watching your show will start to think that Christian and, he says the G word, the three-letter G word for not morally straight, are synonymous terms? Basically, in the world, it is. It is kind of synonymous. You know, at these Christian schools, a lot of those so-called guys are like so soft and terrible. And so that's funny. Evil is still real. Thank you. We're fine on the D Live as far as supers go. We're fine on, Lin Yen Chin with a couple of Streamlabs donations. Thank you, sir. He says, my IQ is only 72. So says he. So I have to use routine meditation as prescribed by JLP, Jesse. That's what Lin Yen Chin calls it, to center and refine my sense of orientation so that 72 can be overclocked to 144 for brief moments in my truest stillness, he says. Funny. To the degree you gain inner stillness, you overcome emotional constipation, he says, and IQ. It's a term that he uses frequently, if you're familiar with Lin Yen Chin's messaging. Yes, it is meditation. The silent prayer is, alleges Lin Yen Chin. Effects of that meditation will be enhanced by the Gundams. Gundam is like an anime thing for like a pilot, I guess. Gundam is a pilot? I don't know. Learning computer. If I can ever pilot the Gundam long enough, he says. Oh. Okay. The metaphor broke my mind. Thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Appreciate that. No new coffees today, but thank you guys. Appreciate them as usual. Hassan, by the way, says that Missy's visuals are legendary. So you can get more insight by checking out Wow Hassan. Okay. How to travel respectfully. The far left commie nonsense network, CNN, has an article, and they say when you visit host communities, they say, try to avoid these habits that emerged as a result of social media-driven tourism. Instagram is making you a worse tourist. Here's how to travel respectfully. And they have a picture that I'm not going to show of two gals, a purportedly white gal, maybe slightly ethnic. Ethnic just means not white. Terrible. And a light-skinned black gal taking a so-called selfie. I've never really liked the term selfie, but I don't know what else to call it that's quite as quick to communicate. So what can I do? But people are traveling, you know. People are traveling. And they're going to popular destinations. And there was a report of a man defacing the Colosseum. Was it who? I forget who that was who was defacing the Colosseum. I think he was carving into it or something. He didn't know he couldn't do that or something. I forget what it was. And he sent an apology, but they want blood. They want like him to do time or do I don't know. They want to press charges on the guy. Behavior has deteriorated even in places that rarely had problems in the past, according to the Commie Nonsense Network. So one guy or gal or whatever, Lauren A. Siegel, says that her research shows social media, Instagram, TikTok have made it easy to find hidden gem restaurants and discover new destinations. But this democratization of travel has brought in the riffraff into all sorts of different places. It's brought in she didn't say riffraff because that's racialized language or something. I don't know. People see their social media connections from their home environment to traveling in exotic locations. They assume that behavior that they can ordinarily carry out at home is acceptable in the vacation destination, being all shameless and taking selfies. Social proof. They show off where they've been. Terrible. Terrible. So the Instagram effect, I don't know. They're just complaining about people taking photos in these places. It's all self-indulgent and mess. Whatever. Travel respectfully. Do your research. Put down your phone. People on their phones, that's true. That is so interesting. When you're carrying your phone and looking at your phone, people judge you. Yeah. People walking their dogs on their phone. It's kind of like you're not so much of a neighbor. You're into your phone, all busy. Just put down the phone. I mean, your head should be on a swivel anyway. I know that I've walked around this neighborhood on my phone and taking video of myself, but my head's on a swivel. And because I'm talking to you guys sometimes, I've done that in months past. It's been months since I've done that. But I know it looks kind of weird, and so I try not to be around people when I'm doing that, like physical people in my physical vicinity. But there are people who are like that all on their phone, and you could get jumped that way or hit by a car, or I don't know, you're just distracted. It's dangerous nowadays, but it is kind of alienating. It's like you look down on that person. Terrible. Watch yourself. Don't look down on the people on their phones. But also don't be on your phone so much. It's dangerous out there anywhere you go. There's been videos of people walking into fountains. This gal on her phone walked into a fountain in a famous viral video years ago. So, I don't know. Use your influence for good. A lot of people are trying to be influencers and all busybodies and be social activists. It's shameful. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let me get to a call or two, guys, before I get into some more commentary and stuff. Artie Art from the Sundown Town, not the Sundown Town, from Ohio. The Sundown Town is Maze, and Blazing Hogs. Art from Ohio is on the line. Art, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. Man, I'm definitely not from where Maze is at or whatnot.
Right.
No, not that Sundown Town. She make Ohio look bad, just like a lot of these beta liberals.
Yeah.
Long story short, I just seen something come across my phone on Truth Socials saying that Tucker was saying something about Donald Trump need to be wary of an assassination attempt, and I want to tell Donald Trump that he definitely needs to be paying attention to how the left is doing what they doing, because they trying to basically overwhelm him with this court stuff and the court stuff, and basically, I'm sorry about that. I'm outside, so sorry about that. The court stuff and a lot of this other stuff with the election to make him put his guards down, and he needs to be watching his front, back, and his left and his right, because they getting very desperate and they can't bring him down with this court system. That's the next thing that they is going to try to do, take him up off this earth. So that Donald Trump needs to definitely stay on guard at all times, man, for sure. But definitely when he out here doing these, talking to the people, we're not going in and out of court. He needs to have his guards up at all, even when he gets back in office, because he's going to win in 2024. But the left is getting very desperate, though, Hake.
Yeah. That's wild, man. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's funny how out of control they are. I'm actually more amused than anything. Is there any temptation in you to be angry at what they're trying to do to Trump? Or afraid or anything?
No, because it says in the Bible, a fool lips overfloweth with foolishness or something like that. A fool talks himself into a battle that they can't win or something like that. It says it ain't the exact words, but it's something like that, and that's what they doing. When I see the mugshot, I ain't get mad or worked up. That's them. See, they get mad and worked up every time. You know, when he lost, when that shenanigans happened with the 2020 election, I didn't get mad about that. I was disappointed, but I wasn't losing no sleep and pulling my hair out and on TikTok screaming at the top of my voice and stuff like that. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, once again, they just making a fool of themselves. But I just want him to be watching this front and his back or whatnot and keep his eyes on the prize, because they trying to hurt him through the court system, trying to smear his name, hurt him by smearing his name. What's the next step? The only next step is to get one of these radicals or whatnot to try to physically harm him or whatnot. And you see, it ain't a shortage of them running around.
Yeah, that's so true, man. Nice.
Definitely ain't. Yeah.
That's called being a man. It's called being a man, responding, taking it in stride. And that's what Trump is doing, you'll notice. He's handling it. He's handling it like a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't want him to back down or whatnot. Stay saying what you stand. Keep your foot on the gas. Just make sure you stopping at the red lights and the stop signs or whatnot. And we watching them. And you know, it's all good. We ain't scared.
Right.
But I want my man Trump to be safe though. And I appreciate you for your time. I ain't gonna hold you up. I want to keep watching the show. When I catch y'all later. Shout out to the chat.
Right on, man. Happy Men's History Month to you. Take care.
Same to you, Hake.
All right. Art from Ohio. So nice. I have some commentary. You remember, some of you guys who are older maybe, do you remember the question when you're at the grocery store, paper or plastic? Or did you ever go to the grocery store with your mother when you were a little kid? If you remember being a little kid, some people don't remember stuff. I guess they had traumatic childhoods and they just don't remember, or something's up with their memory on that, early memories. But I remember paper or plastic, and people would say the pressure just was the social pressure, the environmentalist pressure was to go with plastic. Let's save a tree. Let's not go with paper. Well, now we're back on paper. You'll notice they're back on paper bags. Trader Joe's, very environmentally friendly store, right? Supposedly. Liberals. Aren't they liberals? I think of them as liberals. Although they're not union. Or are they? I forget. But all their stuff is paper. Paper bags. No plastic bags. Huh. So they've gone away from plastic. What is plastic even? I think it has to do with oil. Isn't it made like petroleum or something like that? I don't know. Various different things. Ask DuPont or somebody. Almost said 3M. But, yeah, I know. Now they're using these thicker plastic bags, supposedly reusable bags, which most of them get thrown in the trash, and they're much thicker. Not these thin bags. And now I know that the plastic bags got thinner and thinner and thinner. But now they're using these reusable bags, and they charge you for no matter where you go. You go to the liquor store, not to get liquor necessarily, but you go to the liquor store, and they give you these thin plastic bags and charge you 10 cents if you want a bag. Or you just carry your groceries in your hand, or bring a reusable bag, one of those fabric ones that get all dirty and nasty, supposedly. According to some, I don't know. Not too nasty and dirty for me. Or you use these plastic bags. You keep a bunch of plastic bags in your trunk or something like that. Or you enter the number of bags that you want, or get bags. But now they're back to paper bags for the environmentally friendly stuff, and all those. They used to talk about we need to get rid of styrofoam, so now they're using paper to-go boxes or cardboard, which is paper, right? To-go boxes and stuff like that for their environmentally recycled materials, food storage stuff, which sometimes it gets soaked with the food stuff. But they started charging in different places, but particularly in LA, to get a bag. And they're doing that because these plastic bags are being littered all over the streets and it's going into the oceans supposedly or something like that by litter bugs who are not typically white, I don't think. The normal American, Native American, which is us, right? Some of us anyway, are Native Americans, meaning white Americans, or maybe, black Americans. Some of them can be Native, I guess. I suppose. Because they have a long heritage here. They were born here to Americans who were born to Americans and all that. They're not the ones littering so much. Some of them are, yeah. But by and large, they're not the ones littering. It's the immigrants who are littering. The ones who are being brought in by the demon rats who are imposing these rules on us, making us pay for these bags and cracking down on stuff, on straws. Plastic straws are better than paper straws anyway. They're trying to do paper straws. I just noticed that they go all over the place. They blip around or flick around, something like that, from thing to thing. Overcompensate for one thing because it's meddling, mama spirit, evil, liberal, fake environmentalist. I call it environmentalist, which is worshiping a false worship of a false god of the earth. When they're not even the ones who are manly thinking, civilized, or for the manly thinking, civilized people who make the world better, like Ted Nugent, for example. Ted Nugent is a man who hunts and stuff like that, and he's more efficient than all these people going to these city life stuff, which is supposedly, I don't know, not that great. I just notice that it's faddish, all this environment stuff, climate stuff. It's faddish. The scientists don't even necessarily fully know what's going on. Of course, they don't. God himself even said, or the Bible said, that now we know in part. We don't know fully. But the mama spirit wants to crack down on you giving misinformation and slap United Nations labels on your videos if you talk about the climate too much. And force feed you propaganda about, we're doing this or that. Makes you not want to believe them. They make you not want to believe them by trying to make you believe what they say. Isn't that interesting? And then they also train you and traumatize you, if you're trainable and traumatizable, by not wanting to differ from the mainstream outlook on things. What the establishment tells you to believe. It's controlling mama spirit, evil nature. I mentioned Ted Nugent. What about that guy Big Bear? I don't know much about him, but Big Bear, you guys know Owen Benjamin? He was at the men's conference a few years ago, maybe 2019. Was it 2019? I heard that he's living off the land for the most part, growing his own food, animals and plants, I think. And another example of, and he's not some dumb lame-o environmentalist, I don't think, believing in the climate mess. I think he's starting to believe the earth is flat. And he used to be a baltard. He said the math checks out for baltardness, but now he's, I don't know. But that's irrelevant. So that's what I think. I don't know if that was clear. Silliness. Be men. Bring back men. Speaking of men, let me tell you about this little update I happened across. Megyn Kelly, you heard of her. She used to hate our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, because he was calling women fat pigs or something like that. Only Rosie O'Donnell. And she's all, no, it wasn't only Rosie O'Donnell. And then he said, I'm sure it wasn't. But interestingly enough, she's probably wishing for a man like Donald J. Trump to be here on the scene, you know? To be in charge again, being a man. But no, she wants to be all feminist and lame-o and pro-woman and silly. Well, she's been on this kick, and I've covered this type of thing from her before, where she's not for the transgenders being all calling themselves real women or something like that. She says, she referred to it as a man. She referred to Richard, one guy named Richard, and I'm dead naming him a bit, but calls himself Rachel now. And he's all involved in the government, right? Sleepy Joe Biden put him in charge very subversively. Not just as a nice guy like Trump is, but very subversively and evil like Joe Biden and Obama are, okay? She called him Rachel Levine. I'm talking Richard Levine. I can't call him Rachel. Okay. So anyway, update yesterday, the 29th, right? Megyn Kelly tweeted this out. Only a sick person thinks it's okay to have secrets like this between teachers and children. And what is she talking about? Let's see if I can drag these screenshots into the folder. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Okay. I'll drag all these screenshots into the folder. There's like 11 of them, Hassan. But she said that. And I'm like, what is this gal talking about? You know, Twitter, also known as X. It's promoting her a lot to me for some reason. Megyn Kelly, Megyn. In want of a man in charge. And this California state senator is the worst of the bunch, and he's obsessed with transing kids and eliminating the parents who object or urge caution. And she mentions a couple of people who've been on him for months. And what is she quote tweeting? She's quote tweeting, quote Xing, quote posting. California state senator, Scott Weiner, or Weiner. Maybe I should call him Weiner. This Scott Weiner who says, forcing a teacher to out is the word, a trans kid, no such thing, to their parents, even if the kid isn't ready, and even if it puts them at risk of harm, the child at risk of harm, from the, teachers protecting kids from their abusive parents. Ridiculous. What about the abusive politicians and abusive teachers? But the parents send them to the school, they're the suckers, as JLP pointed out even this morning on the first hour of JLP show. Each of us decides when we come out, he said. And he ends his sentence with a preposition. That's not the only sick thing he's talking about. It's no one else's darn business. And he doesn't say darn. He says he cusses because he's not a Christian. Some Christians cuss too, but. And he said, thanks, THX, AG, Attorney General, California State Attorney General, Rob Bonta, for having these kids' backs, he says. Everybody wants to think that they're protecting the kids. Give me a break. Makes me want to spit. And so he's quote tweeting Rob Bonta. Rob Bonta says, breaking! Attorney General he's the top cop for the state of California, this pink-shirted fella. Silly dude person. Breaking! We are filing a lawsuit immediately to halt. Who goes there? Halt Chino Valley School District's forced outing policy. This is in California. The school district apparently wants teachers to inform the parents when they learn stuff about the children going through different mental illnesses, like, if you want to call them that, like the LGBT delusions, right? This policy wrongfully and unconstitutionally discriminates against the transgender and gender nonconforming students, which there's no such thing as that. There's no such actual thing as that. It is a delusion forced on the kids by Satan, by their parents, by the adults, wolves in sheep's clothing. It cannot stand. And his thing says forced outing violates the Constitution, the California Constitution. Huh, interesting. So is he going to go after like TMZ and all these degenerate and Deadline? And does Deadline even exist anymore? All these degenerate organizations that speculate on outing. Outing has to do with their degenerate sex stuff or something, right? Are they going to go after all these degenerates who are gossiping and speculating and being degenerate? No. They're just going to go after the responsible adults who want to inform parents that their children are going through mess. Terrible. Rob Bonta, in his profile picture, I'm looking at it, it says, I stand with Planned Parenthood, and he's wearing this pink shirt and holding LGBT flags. Rainbow flags. Not God's rainbow, but other stuff. If you can see his profile picture. Yeah, terrible. California's Attorney General standing up for all Californians. Yeah, right. And fighting injustices. No, he's not. He's promoting injustice. As the people's attorney is his bio. Look at this guy. A grown man with gray hair. POC, Rob Bonta. And a Hawaiian necklace or something like that. I don't know. Or surfer necklace. Wearing a pink shirt for Planned Parenthood killing the babies. And promoting killing this soul-killing LGBT propaganda. In other words, he hates people who are mixed up in that world. He hates them. Emotional mama. The people's attorney, that's a communist buzzword. And look at this Scott Weiner fella. Ooh, not a normal white, not a Christian, I don't think. Quite sure he's not a Christian. He's in the LGBTQ caucus in the state, whatever, Senate. Housing, transit, climate, criminal justice reform / health. What? Demon rat. Jewish. Oh, okay. No, I knew that. I'm just playing like I didn't know. That guy. Terrible. But Megyn Kelly, happily married to Doug, is her bio. Crazy in love with my children, Yates, Yardley, and Thatcher. Journalist, female journalist, Megyn, Megyn. And she thinks she's all stylish and beautiful or whatever. Which she is. But she's a mess. Oh, take that person down. He's all skinny. That's that gal. Mildly attractive. What a mess. So she's all up in arms. But that's her fault for, she used to be she still is kind of, a liberal. Anti-Trump. And her career went down after she went after Trump. She was bleeding out of her eyes and nose and ears and, as Trump said, wherever. Terrible. Okay, I disavow that. Let me get to some calls. My favorite caller from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio, Maze, is on the line. Maze, thank you for calling. How you doing?
I'm doing just okay.
Oh, okay. Today. Not marvelous?
That too. I'm doing
okay.
Marvelous.
Nice.
The 100-meter race. Who's the fastest woman in the world with the 100-meter race?
Flo Jo. Rest in peace.
No.
Flo Jo was faster than Sha'Carri.
The person that just won, Sha'Carri.
Sha'Carri.
She's the fastest woman in the world, the 100-meter race.
I corrected you because she corrected other people, and she called herself Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah, Sha'Carri, whichever one you want to call. You know who I'm talking about.
I want to call her what she wants to be called, which is Sha'Carri.
Okay, Carrie then.
Yeah.
So she's the fastest at this moment. She just won the gold medal.
Nice.
So if people would look up stuff and be just flapping, you'll understand. See, when people are talking and don't understand what just running their mouth just to be talking, you should be corrected, shouldn't you?
Maybe. Not always.
Okay.
You don't always have to correct.
And then, what am I doing?
So you're correcting a previous caller who said that some other gal is going to beat her, that she's
already
not
won,
that
so
fast.
I beat her.
I don't know if she raced against that other person whom he named.
She ran, excuse me?
I don't know if she...
Jamaican.
I don't know if that gal whom my other caller named...
And he beat Florence, or wherever named the other lady is.
Flo Jo?
No, Flo Jo is not here anymore.
Right.
So
Rest in peace, Flo Jo.
I'm saying what happening now.
Yeah.
And then when it get to Elvis Presley, I tell you I had a cousin, she used to just lose her mind. We used to sit and laugh at her because she was so crazy about the man. Like she could get into the TV with him.
That's funny. That is funny. That reminds me
of... Elvis married a young girl.
Yeah. When I was in fourth grade, some of the little girls in my class, one of whom I liked, was all into New Kids on the Block, kind of like that. Terrible.
And you were jealous?
No, I wasn't jealous.
But I'm saying, Elvis married a young lady, didn't he? Somebody that was real young, underage.
Oh, really? I mean, that was what people did back in the days. It wasn't considered pedophilia or whatever.
Oh, okay, it wasn't.
Was it?
I'm asking you.
Well, I say that it wasn't. How about how did you take it? Not necessarily.
Why not?
Because if they're 16 and they're past puberty and whatever, I don't know. Back then, young ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but young ladies were more mature back then. Am I wrong?
Really, it's about maturity.
It's partly, yeah. I mean, the young people are kind of ready for that type of thing, and so the slightly older men in their 20s and maybe 30s would get with slightly younger women in their younger 20s or late teens, and that was normal back then. Kind of like the Virgin Mary. They speculate that she was a teenager or something.
But
not 18. 18. I get that 18 is an adult, but who made up that rule? Did God make up that rule, or did man? Or
just like the Bible, man.
Yeah. So anyway,
so I defend
a little bit of that. Not that
Sarah
I wasn't around back then.
To bring it back so you can marry young kids.
Well, I don't know about that. You're making claims that I doubt to be true. No, I'm not going to look it up. I'm not interested.
Okay, you're not interested. So if you're not interested, that's your business. And then when it comes
but you're making a claim about Sarah Huckabee going to make it so that...
you're trying to put just like you said, who came up with that? She's
like
trying to
Sarah
so you can marry a young girl that's 12 years old.
And it's Sarah Sanders now. She's married. It's not Sarah Huckabee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's a so-called governor, right? Is she the governor?
Let me show you
Where's
how
she the governor
represent Dayton. I represent Dayton as a person that never broke the law. I can vote and do things like that. That's how I represent Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
I know how other people represent the places they came from, but that's how I do. So people wearing diapers, until they learn how to get out and put on some pants. Don't talk to me.
Whatever. I don't know what you're talking
about. That's the way
about.
I'm going to leave that one.
Okay.
Because it's funny. But I was just correcting. And then, what did Elvis die from?
Oh, wow. Spoiler alert tells me Elvis and Priscilla Presley were married for 6 years, the 1967 to 1973, from that time to that time. They married.
What they had to do with how she was
hold on. They met in 1959. Okay, they met in 1959 when Priscilla was just 14 and Elvis was 24. But that doesn't mean that they. Okay, so that sounds pretty young, right? But
it is.
But that's not when they married. They married in 1967. That's 8 years later. She was an adult. Okay? Now, I don't know what type of relationship they had when she was 14 and he was 24, but that's not.
People go to jail for that today.
How about this? How about the Prime Minister of France? They don't necessarily go to jail just because they met.
France is not in America. They have different laws than we do.
I know, but you're making a claim that he'll go to jail for meeting her. People
do go to jail for meeting young kids.
Hold on, man, women. Adults meet children. That doesn't mean that they have some sexual thing.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
So
that's not the question I asked you. I asked you what did Elvis die from?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't?
Oh, I don't know. I heard that he. I don't really want to say.
Well, Elvis was in the military at one time too. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
But he died from an overdose.
But you're being a typical gossipy evil
woman.
I'm not
gossiping.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you're gossiping.
You don't want to.
Yes,
you don't want to come out
no,
your
you're
mouth.
Gossiping.
I'm gossiping.
Yeah, you are.
Well, prove that I'm gossiping if what I just said is not true.
Here's the proof. You said that Elvis married a young girl.
He did.
No, you didn't. She was not a young girl.
He was 24 and she was 14, and they got married 16 years. No. That's not true.
He didn't marry at 16. He married her at 20-something.
I'm saying he was breaking the law. Well, if he was messing with her and she was 16.
I'm saying that you're gossiping because you have no idea what their relationship was like when she was underage.
Just like the man in Montgomery that didn't get his...
Maze.
The one that you were talking about in Montgomery that was messing with the young girl.
Maze.
And that's why he didn't get off... What?
You're talking over me.
Alabama.
Maze.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Apology accepted. You don't know what his relationship was like, but you're speculating that people go to jail for that. What's that? You have no idea.
For messing with minors. Just like
you don't know that he was. You don't know that he was messing with minors. You're gossiping.
You talk about Catholic school, private school, and public school.
I just told you don't know that he was messing with minors, but you're gossiping and you're speculating.
How did you? When you say they met when they were what?
She was 14. He was 24. But that doesn't say that they were messing around.
Really? Okay. That's what you say.
Yeah, it's because do you have first-hand knowledge? Do you have first or even second-hand knowledge that they were messing around when she was underage?
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
So then why are you saying people go to jail for that?
If people do go to jail, they can go meet somebody on Facebook and go meet somebody, and they can go to jail for meeting a minor these days.
But this was not a
Facebook. That's hard. He can tell you about the law because breaking the law. I can't.
There's no proof in what I've read, the little that I've read, that this was a Facebook stalker predator type of situation.
But still,
so you're being a bit of a
14
dirty.
14 and 24.
Mace.
Shouldn't even be having a conversation together.
That's ridiculous. You let your
14-year-old daughter talk to some 24-year-old man? If you had
It depends on the situation, Mace.
What kind of situation?
Teacher. There's sometimes teachers who are 24.
Kids too. That's why they're going to jail.
There's sometimes. I know, but not every teacher is doing that, Mace.
No, not every teacher is doing it. Just like everything else happening, everybody's not doing that either. Like so breaking the law, everybody's not breaking the law.
What if you're a 24-year-old father talking to your 14-year-old daughter? Doesn't mean that it's some dirty thing. Maybe if it's a stepfather, it's more common. Stepfathers and stepmothers do evil things more frequently like that. Yes, really.
But I don't know because I never had one of those.
You happen to know
maybe a lot. In foster homes, they might do it
you never had an Elvis in your life, but you seem to think like you know a lot about him.
I wouldn't have dated if I was 14 or 16, I wouldn't be thinking about a man anyway.
Yeah, right. Women are thinking about.
How would you be thinking about men at that age?
Young ladies are thinking about guys way before guys even think about girls. You're lying about that now.
What do you say?
I said girls go through puberty before men.
But what does that got to do with thinking about boys?
Before boys do.
What does that got to
If
do
you're
with
going
anything?
through puberty,
Nothing?
it means you're thinking about boys.
Really?
I think so. I don't know.
That's what I know, because you're not a woman. Unless you were one, you could tell me what I was thinking
You're
about.
making me blush.
Oh, really? Somebody needs to.
Man. What an uncomfortable topic.
Really, I know it is. That's what you did.
No,
It
but you
sound like
brought
you got-
it. I'm just making the point, though, Maze, that
What?
you're
What,
a,
are you-
you're a lady. I think of you as a proper lady, right?
And I do proper
even
things.
you, and old school, and even you have fallen into this speculation about older men and younger girls or whatever. And sometimes this is not this. Sometimes it's fairly innocent. And I'm not defending. I have no idea about Elvis, okay? But
That
I'm
doesn't
just
matter.
making the
Why you
point
doing
that there is this anti-man thing where every man is a PDF file, and I've noticed that a whole lot of
said that
people.
every man was a pedophile. I didn't say that.
No, I know, but I know that you didn't say that, but you made some assumptions about Elvis, and you didn't even know Elvis. That's
I know more
my
about him
point.
than you do.
So doesn't mean you, but sometimes you know things that
But
you
I'm
don't
asking you, where
know
did
to
he
be
die
true.
from? I mean, was he an addict before he died, or was he skinny, thin, like when he first started?
He was fat.
Was he a fat man with?
I didn't want to get into this. He was fat, and I know.
Yeah,
I know,
got a problem
I
with
know
those.
that I've heard some things, but it's too vulgar to repeat on air. This
Okay.
is a family-friendly show,
Really?
and I don't really like repeating shameful things about
Well,
people
then you
that
sit
much.
and talk about other people, and it doesn't matter about being kids listening. That's the problem. Kids were listening
It's
back
my
in those
rules.
days.
It's my
More
rules.
things
I
why they
can.
worry out today.
It's my rules. I can break them as I please.
Okay, those are your rules,
Yeah.
and you can have your rules. But people that wear diapers, don't be telling me what I represent in the state that I live in, because you didn't represent it very well.
Who, me?
No, not you. You don't live in Dayton.
Oh, you're art doesn't. You
live in
attack
Ohio.
callers. I
You
noticed,
live in the States.
Maze. I noticed that you attack callers.
No.
And I let you get away with it, and then I don't let other callers get away
I don't
with
care about attacking them. If they would talk to me, I can see where they're coming from. But they're too afraid. That's the problem.
it. My vision
my
cleared up.
But at 16,
I was having blind spots just briefly now.
and
But
when
my
it comes to
vision,
the,
Maze
but when it
has
comes
cleared
to,
my
didn't you
vision.
go to homeschooling, James?
I think. Huh?
Did you go to homeschooling?
A couple of years there, yeah.
And then did you go to private school?
No. I mean, in college, a couple of years, I did go
And
to
you went to public school?
3 years. Huh? Yeah,
You went to public
I went to
school, too?
public school in the 90s.
Oh, you did all three?
80s and 90s. Yeah, I did all three.
Okay. That's
Nice.
all I need to know. You did all three. And look where you are.
I'm living my best life.
Thank you. You did all three. And
Nice.
that's what could happen. Live your best life.
Well, Maze, I agree with you. I support Sha'Carri Richardson. Do you agree with me that she's mildly attractive even though she wears wild hair sometimes?
I don't look at women as being attractive.
Oh, well, I mean, pretty. How about this?
I don't look at them as being...
Objectively, she's kind of pretty.
To you?
No, this is objective. It's not
It
subjective.
should be to you.
To you
Not
means
me?
subjective. Oh, I know, but a man can acknowledge that another man is handsome without being not morally straight. A woman can acknowledge that a young lady is mildly attractive or beautiful or whatever. And it's not. I get you, Maze. Okay, I appreciate it. Well, thank you
Because
for
you
your
haven't
call.
really seen what she really looked like yet.
Right, I know. I haven't seen her with no
Say what
makeup.
she really looks like.
Yeah, the no makeup thing. It's too much
No,
makeup.
she don't. The no makeup thing.
What do you
When
mean?
she show who she really is, she got to find herself first to show who she really is.
Oh.
She's fast, but she got to show who she really is, and then you can determine
Oh.
what she is.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the way I see it. See, we don't think the same, we don't look the same, and we don't have to think the same.
Right.
We look alike.
Yep.
That's what y'all don't get.
No, I get you. I get
The
it.
one that rode the short bus. Okay, so you have a good one.
Thank you, Maze. Appreciate you. Great call. Take care. Oh, man, she got me. I'll get you next time, Maze. Hat tip to that cartoon from the maybe 80s and maybe 90s, Inspector Gadget. And the guy who brought that back to the forefront of my mind, Dick Masterson. I'll get you next time, Maze. I'll get you next time, Gadget. She got the click on me. I need to get my spittoon because that topic of speculation about other men whom you have no idea about makes me want to spit. Too. It gets me riled. I shouldn't get riled. That was a very half-hearted spit. Too. How about that? Who spits like that? Too. This tastes awful. Too. Anyway, man, thank you guys. I don't know what to do for bearing with me through that beautiful call, Maze. Maybe she really is my favorite caller. People say she's evil, which, yeah, she's evil. But you're evil. I'm evil. The evil is real. It's still real. Let me double check for any super chats. Thanks again, Lin Yen Chin, for the correction on my different things. Sure enough, there are a couple of more super chats on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. I think a lot of people, says spoiler alert, are constantly on their phones in public in hopes that black people won't bother them so much. Well, that's just the thing, spoiler alert. The meme goes, never relax, okay? And I slightly disagree with never relax. You should be relaxed and ready. You know? Be ready. Be alert. That's interesting. That's an interesting theory. A spoiler alert has theories. And some of them are educated theories, okay? They may not always be correct. Because when you look down on your phone, that's when you get your phone snatched and you get popped. You get sucker punched. Because they catch you unawares. Lin Yen Chin, is it supposed to be a caught unawares? I mean, I know that I'm pretty sure that that's a legitimate way of saying it, unawares. But I remember seeing a viral video in the last several months in LA, I think. He was looking at his phone and he got smacked and the phone's stolen. So be alert. Don't be on your phone. I get that you want to look busy or look like don't bug me. I get it. You can maybe look like you're on your phone, but be alert. But don't look like a easy target. Don't get sucker punched. Don't get the knockout gamed on yourself. Don't get polar bear hunted. Carver bought a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee. Plastic bags are the best. I agree, man. I used to use them for everything. I used to use them for my gym bag. I used to use them for going out playing soccer, going on the soccer field, change into my cleats and socks and things like that, and extra shirt. Like everyone who lives in the Midwest, says Carver. Hey, don't dox yourself, buddy. I have hundreds of them stuffed in a kitchen cabinet. Nice. I use them to pick up the dog's mess, unlike Hassan. He changed. He repented, maybe. And maybe he doesn't like to carry all that stuff, right? He's fashionably in. This is one-to-one recycling. No giant factory to grind up the paper pulp required, says Carver. Thank you, man. Very nice input. Hassan, do you want to defend yourself on the sandy litter?
That's from Lin?
No, that was Carver.
Oh.
Carver said he picks up his dog's mess, and he says, unlike Hassan.
I know. I'm working on it.
He's working on it. So that means he's still, he still doesn't always, maybe a little bit. Have you ever picked it up?
I did when I went to visit my father down in Florida.
Nice.
Because I didn't want him to get in trouble.
Right on, man.
So I kept his neighborhood clean.
Yeah. I understand. Maybe the Midwest in Carver's neighborhood is not so polluted as LA and Hollywood and all that mess.
That's true. The Florida neighborhood that that I was in, I felt like they were at least trying. So I tried.
Yeah, exactly. To him who has, more will be given. If you have cleanliness, more cleanliness will come. But he who does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. That's what Jesus said. So even that little bit of cleanliness will fall away. Terrible. Okay, guys, this has been the Hake Report. I hope you enjoyed it. I may have been a little too silly, whatever. American Anchor Baby is at noon today, but before that, we have Wow Hassan, Walking on Water Hassan. This track is Stavesacre. You thought you got away from Stavesacre. You thought wrong. This is Rise from the 2000 album Collective. That's where I got it from. Maybe it was an older song. By Stavesacre. Hope you enjoy it, and adios, America. I got to get out of here, so Wow Hassan can come in. Adios, America. Bye.
The things in love don't give us too much hope. You've lost your appetite and you're sick and tired. Maybe what you need is some food for your eyes to make them right. Don't tell me how to tell the truth. You're like a store that only sells guns and knives. Tell me how to make something beautiful flash before your eyes. And make them rise. And make them rise. And make them rise. And make them $1 for 3 tries, but money never buys enough of anything. And I'm a moving target trying to shake some man.